Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you. We're going to hang out just a few more minutes to see if there are more people coming in. So if you want to hang out just a little bit, that would be great. And if you can, at this point, mute yourself. That will be very helpful. We would like to just focus on Mayumi-san today. So if you can do that, that'll be fantastic. While we're waiting, other thing is, if you have your name displayed here, and then if that's a different name from the name you registered, could you match that so that we know that you are here? Iwanami-san, welcome from Japan.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
From Japan, from Tokyo.
Yay.
For joining.
Iwanami-san, it's heavily snowing today in Minnesota. How is it in Tokyo?
It's sunny sky.
Oh my goodness. Would
And
you
then
like
now,
some snow? Would you like some?
Sunflower is in full bloom. I'm so sorry. And then
Yes.
yesterday, the forecast said the beginning of the cherry blossom will be March 22 in Tokyo.
Oh my goodness. In a month. We're not going to see green for another few months. Wow. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you just join us, thank you very much for joining us today. If we can hang out just a little bit more to make sure everybody's here, and we will start in a minute. Thank you.
So can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good.
ようこさん落ち着いてきましたかね？いいですかね？はい。Okay. I think we settled down for today. So I think we're going to start. I am personally very, very excited to have Mayumi-san today. She is a well-known artist locally and then also an outside of the state. Time to time, she has her exhibition around Minnesota. When she does, please make sure to visit, because once you see her work today, and then if you can imagine how it might be when you are actually standing in front of it, is about like 1,000 times better, and you can immerse yourself in the work. So I will make sure Mayumi-san will share the schedule of her show with us in the future. So if she does, please, please, please go see it. I met Mayumi-san at U of M years and years ago, at art history class, I think. And it was in a huge room. And I spotted her thinking like, oh, there's another Japanese person. So I kind of like chased her down and grabbed her and say, hi, are you from Japan? And she's like, yes. Which part of Japan are you from? And she says she's from Gunma. And then I said like, oh, Gunma, which part of the Gunma are you from? And she was like, oh, this small town, you don't know. And I was like, well, you know, try me. And then she said, this is the name of a town. And I'm like, me too. And I said, which part of that town are you from? And then she was like, oh, you don't know, it's in the mountain. And then I was like, well, try me. And she said, this is the town. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. It turned out we went to same elementary school. It's a little different time, but we did go to the same elementary school, and we could not believe it. We didn't know each other back home, but we met in Minnesota. I mean, how would that be? Isn't that crazy? So it's a little personal for me to see her work, and when she talks about her mountains, because I was there too in a separate time, but I grew up in the same mountain. When I was there as a child, I really didn't like it because I hate bugs and any kind of creature. So mountains were really not good. But after I seen her work, I feel differently now, which is fantastic. I rather like my mountains. So I'm so honored to have her here. And she can tell you about our mountains better than anybody from our hometown. Without further ado, please welcome Mayumi Amada-san. お願いします。
Hi, thank you for the great introduction. Yes, we met a long time ago, and the first we met, we are surprised. And I'm so happy to be invited to present my artwork today. And thank you for joining tonight or this morning. I'm from Japan, and to pursue my childhood dream, that is to become an artist, I came to the United States. And now I'm living in my dream, so I'm so happy. And thank you again for joining tonight. And my time is limited, so I want to start my presentation. So I will share, just sorry.
Maybe while you're doing that, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I forgot to mention.
I will share the screen.
Yep.
Okay.
If you have any questions, please send a message via chat to me. I will ask the question to Mayumi-san at the end of the whole event. So if you have any comments or questions, please send that to me via chat. Thank you so much. Mayumi-san, お願いします.
Okay, yes. Okay, this is, okay, what? Okay, let's get started. The title of today's lecture is Water Flows, Time Passes. And this is the same as my latest and largest solo show. It was last fall, and this shows my current practice very well. So I chose the same title for tonight's lecture. And I use doili or image of doili a lot in my artwork. And this is my very old art piece. When I was an undergrad student, I took many metal casting class. And this is very small bird shape, bronze dishes. And I used doilies for the first time for this piece. And at that time, I didn't have any idea what I can do with doilies. I just found a perfect size two doilies for this bronze dish. So I just used no deep meaning. And then, since I love lace texture, I try to capture the lace texture on the surface of metal. For example, I cast corset, little bit old style, but the lace was so beautiful. So I made a mold and captured the lace on iron. And this is the close-up photo. And then I created this metal teddy bear, and I covered the wax bear with lace and made mold. So this bear has like lace texture all over the body. And this is a side view. So I worked on metal, and I also like making dress. So I made like steel dress, wearable steel dress. I used sheet steel and hammered many times, and I created this dress. So this is my very early artwork. And then I really want to talk about a memorable trip to Texas. And next photo is this. And when I was a grad student at the University of Minnesota, one professor took us to Marfa, Texas. It was a part of graduate study, and the title of the class was sculpture seminar class. But in Marfa, Texas, there is a very big installation site of pretty well-known American artist, Donald Judd. He is a minimalist, so his work is kind of simple. And I believe Walker Art Center has his work. But anyway, when we visited this site, it was really windy day. And his piece, his artwork was housed in a huge building. And the building was covered by glass windows. And the outside was so windy, but once we entered the space, it was so quiet and also warm and soothing and peaceful. And I soaked in the atmosphere completely. And I didn't want to leave the space. And it was very memorable and a great trip. And I amazed his work so much. Also, I was amazed by the rough, huge field in Texas. It was stony, completely dried, and it was like dead field for me. I never seen that kind of scenery. And suddenly I had a desire to make big doilies and put the doilies on this very rough field. I thought I could change the scenery completely from almost dead field to like alive dead field to alive field. And on my way back to Minnesota, I saw many lakes through airplane window. And I got a better idea. If I make big doilies and can decorate lakes, I thought it's great because I'm living in Minnesota. So when I went back to home, I was thinking what I can use for making big doilies that can float on a lake. And I thought, how about milk cartons that is white and can float, plastic milk cartons. And also, how about driftwood that is white, kind of white and also can float. But I didn't know how to join the materials and create beautiful doily-like structure. So I went back to the authentic way to crochet and make big doilies. And I found great material that is a rope, and it's called floating rope or buoyant rope. So the rope can float. So the doilies I made with the rope can float. So this is the artwork. And this looks like ordinary doilies. And the background is completely black, so but it's on a lake. And the size of the doily is from 4 feet to 9 feet. It's so big. And the movement was like jellyfish like. And this is me. I look so young. And this photo shows the size of the doily, one of the doilies. And I put, I put the video, and I just want to show the video. And I removed the sound because it was too noisy, the waves. So this is really old artwork. Okay, next. And I thought, I really like doilies, but what I can do with doilies, and thinking. And the doily is beautiful, elegant, and delicate. I like the image so much. And also doily is meaningful. The reason is the crochet technique has been handed down from generation to generation, from grandmothers to granddaughters. And the repeated stitches make patterns. And the patterns are also repeated again and again and create beautiful lacy image. And also I really like round shape of the doily. The reason is it's I can feel the harmonized like feeling, and also it implies a circle of life. And what I'm exploring with doilies are passage of time, repeated generations, ancestry, mortality, and eternity, immortality, circle of life, and so on. And this is the core part of my practice now. So let's see what kind of doilies I made. Okay, this is very authentic way I created, just crochet, ordinary crochet thread. But the point of this work is there is a mirror on the wall, and you will see your face in the mirror first, then explore what the doily says, and it says everybody dies. And this is another doily. It's again, it's really big. The diameter is 99.5 feet diameter. And I used a plastic tarp, or it's called poly tarp. And in Japan, when we have a party under the cherry blossoms, we use blue sheet. And this material is the same as the blue sheet, just the color is white. And I made a design and transferred the design to the big sheet and used a cutter blade and cut out the patterns. And this says the life of a flower is short. Ours is as well. Ours is as well. And again, you might think this is a little strange, and same as the former artwork, this doily, you might think it's very negative artwork, but it's a reminder. And for me, it's a very positive artwork. And life is limited and it's short. So find what you want to do and what you need to do, and follow your goal. So that is the message from me. And this is the second large tarp doily I created, and the concept is the same. Our life on Earth, a blip in eternity. Same again, a reminder, life is limited, so use usefully. And since this doily is very long, it's 13.5 feet long. So always the end part is on the floor. And I use only one spotlight usually to create clear shadow. And I really like this image. The reason is real doily and the shadow and created like layers. So not only the visual layers, but also it gives me like layers of meanings. And the reason I usually use one spotlight is because with the clear shadow, I can create larger space. Doily is very thin and kind of two-dimensional, but with the use of spotlight, I can create larger space so that the viewers can soak in the space. And I want to talk a little bit about the inspiration. I have many this kind of crochet books or doily books, and at least I have more than 100 of this kind of books. And also I collected doilies, and my collection also has like more than 100. And when I made this work, the design was taken from this old crochet book. It's more than 50 years ago. The book was published 50 or 60 years ago. And the title of the book was Hungarian crochet design or something. And I really liked this design because I like flower pattern, and I changed a little bit but used this pattern based on this design. And then I had a chance to paint a piano. I really like the pattern so much, so I used the pattern. And I cut the top board out so that you can see the movement of piano when you play. And also I created this plastic top dress by using the leftover of my project making the big doily. And it's funny, the reason I made this dress was I didn't have fancy dress for the exhibition opening. So I created this dress. And this is my third plastic doily. And this has deep meaning. In this design, I put more than 100 skulls, and each skull is my maternal ancestor. And there is 100 skulls. And if I say one generation is 20 years, this doily can go back my ancestors, like more than 2,000 years. So this doily has deep meaning. And I gave a rose to each skull to express my gratitude and also respect for each my maternal ancestor for giving me a life. And this has a clear shadow on the floor too. And this used skull, and my fourth doily, also used skull. And this is the shadow backside on the backside wall. And since I used the skull patterns, I created dress again with skull pattern. And yes, this is the same as the former dress, but my friend said this dress like camouflage dress because it's same pattern. Okay, next is another doily. I created this doily like artwork. It's because it's really strange, but when I was a grad student, one of the professor told me that, oh, Mayumi, you can make beautiful artwork, but just beautiful is not very interesting to me. She said so. So I was thinking what I can do with beautiful doily image, but not very normal, not just beautiful. And I got this idea. And my original idea was to use the real object or bones. But since I didn't have enough money, I got this idea to use mirror. I set 2 pieces of mirror at 45-degree angle and put plastic skull and bones in between. So 45-degree angle means I can create 8 repeated pattern. So I used only the triangle shape in the front, like a slice of pizza. I put the bones only in the triangle section, and a reflection of mirror created this like illusion. So, and it's kind of simple for me because I like make something with my hand, but this is simple, but I like this doily so much. And another doily I did want to introduce is light and shadow doily. This is my idea sketch I draw in the very beginning, and I make cylinder and cut patterns out on the cylinder body and put light on the bottom. And I thought, I expect I could create a nice shadow or light and shadow doily on the floor. And in the beginning, it didn't go well. The reason was I thought I needed patterns all over to the top of the cylinder, but I found I needed only on the bottom. I needed the pattern only on the bottom, and I created cylinders and cut, and I found patterns that could create a beautiful shadow on the floor. And this is the result. It was not easy, but I was so happy to get this image. When I showed this artwork for the first time, actually I showed this work only once, but the ceiling of this gallery was white and flat. So the top part, this pattern reflected the ceiling. So I was also saw the doily pattern on the ceiling, and it was unexpected. And this is one more doily-like artwork I created. And the idea started with origami, folding paper, and kirigami is cutting paper. I folded copy paper and used template I created from my design, and cut the folded paper with scissors and unfold the cut piece and created leftmost shape, and glued several spots and made three-dimensional like structure. But since the paper is very thin, so that I could cut like 8 layers of paper with scissors, the thin paper was not able to hold the structure. So I used laser cutter. So it was very time-consuming, fold and trace and the cut and unfold, and it didn't work. But this worked very well, and the machine cut relatively like thicker paper. And I glued several spots and created this three-dimensional work. And when I had exhibition last fall, I was asked to do some kind of community project. And I chose this project, and the people gathered and helped me to create this three-dimensional structure. And this is the artwork, the final result. And the meaning of this work is the three-dimensional doily, like for me it's doily, but people say it's like snowflakes, but it's doily for me. And one doily shows one generation, and the long strand is family history or line of life. And the title of this work is Descending a Nexus of Ancestors, and it can be DNA. So this is community work I did, and it turned out pretty nicely than I expected. And again, I used this time several spotlight, and the dark color is the shadow from this paper strand. Okay, and next, this I didn't want to show. I wanted to show this pattern, and this is simple like pattern. But what do you think this is like? Don't you think this is like doily, little bit doily-like? And when I found the same like pattern, the doily with the same pattern, I was surprised. Wow, 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 wow. And same. These are from my collection. So in the center, there is a little bit larger circle, and smaller circles surrounding smaller circles. And the first simple pattern I showed is my family crest. So these are examples of Japanese family crest, and it is said that 3,000 or 5,000 of family crest, this simple design exists. We don't know the actual number. And the typical use of the family crest is on a very formal kimono. So this is the example. And sometimes corporation or company use the family crest as a part of or as a logo of a company or a corporation. And this is a group of my family crest, and the meaning is 9 luminaries, something shining, 9 luminaries. And I was very curious what the meaning of this and where it is from. And I searched about this family crest. And I found the pattern is from the center part of mandala. And this is Japanese mandala. Probably Tibetan mandala is a little different, but Japanese mandala is like this. And the center part is the origin of my family crest. And sorry, okay. Okay, next is, so my family crest is related to Christianity, and the mandala, no, I'm sorry. My family crest is related to Buddhism, and mandala, I forgot to tell, but mandala is picturized Buddhism world. So this is related to Buddhism, and I found the same pattern in downtown Minneapolis. It's a rose window of a church. And oh, wow, the same pattern. Buddhism and Christianity using the same pattern. And I thought circle is very universal symbol and used everywhere. And when I make doili, it's like meditative because I focus without making mistake. So I thought everything is connected, the religion and creating crochet doily is like meditation. So this is my doily story. Okay, let's move on. I just want to talk about materials I use besides, for example, the plastic tarp. And this is a flower bouquet. And the material is plastic egg cartons. I used 4 cups for making bigger flowers, 3 layers of 4 cups and 2 layers for the smaller flowers. And I used kitchen stove for using the heat. So this artwork is from my kitchen. And I thought plastic egg carton is very meaningful. The reason is the carton holds eggs, and the female body also hold eggs. So I created this bouquet, and the title is Bouquet from Grandmother. So the relay of life is made through eggs. That's the meaning of this artwork. And also I use plastic pop bottles a lot, like this, Coke bottle. And my friend was drinking Coke, and he put almost empty Coke bottle on the table in front of me. And I saw brown flowers on the bottom. And I found, wow, Coke bottle has flower shape on the bottom. And most of the pop bottles have like 5 petals, flowers with 5 petals. Sometimes I see 4 petals, sometimes I see 6 petals, but in general, 5 petals flower shape is very common. And it was big discovery for me. I use recycled materials, and I like flower shape. So I collected many bottles and cut only the bottom part and collected many and created artwork. And this is one of the work I made, I used probably it was 1 liter Coke bottle and the normal size bottle, and stacked and used blue LED light in the center. And the inspiration of this artwork is from the photo I saw online news. And the photo was a tomato factory. Tomatoes are growing not in the soil, but in the factory. And instead of the soil, fertilized clear water was used, and tomatoes are growing. And I thought, wow, this is a very futuristic image. And I also wanted to make a futuristic artwork. And this is the result. And this is the focused, no, enlarged image. And also I created this work. And this is like 4 layers, different sizes of bottom part of plastic bottles. And I made 60 set of this stacked flower and suspended from the ceiling. I made a hole in the center of the plastic and stringed and made this work and used electric fan to create movement. And this is the close-up photo, 4 layers. And this is the, I don't know, this, I'm sorry, I don't know why, but I cannot play this. But it has very gentle, peaceful movement. And the reason I use recycled plastic material is because it related very deeply to my theme. Recycle means repeat its life, and also cycle of life. And I use water theme often. It's the same reason. Water has its own life cycle and repeat its life, changing forms. So water is like sub-theme of my creation. And this is synchronized swimmers doily. And this is also the video piece. And I took the video and projected the video on the table, like a vanity like table. And I hope I can play the video. Okay, yes. So it's human doily. At the end of this video, our swimmers spread to outside, and several swimmers climbed up the wall. Yeah, okay. And another water-themed artwork is this. I'm living in Minnesota, so snow is great theme, and I crochet, and I made totally 7 mobiles. Mobile means I can get movement. So with gentle movement, peaceful, gentle movement, this artwork was created. And okay, like 4 years ago, I had a chance to stay at South Dakota State University. as a resident artist. So I stayed there for 1 month. And at the end, I had to do my exhibition. And the time is limited, but I had to do exhibition. And the space was pretty big. And I really needed one more artwork and created this work. And the material is grocery bags, plastic grocery bags. And when I was wondering what I could do, I saw many plastic bags in the kitchen where I stayed. So I collected the plastic bags and folded and cut and made like loops, strips and loops. Then I joined the loops and crochet. And the title of this work is Blooming in Brookings, South Dakota. It's the place where the university is located. And this is the close-up photo. And this work, for this work, I used the plastic grocery bags for the first time. And the next piece is this mushrooms. The idea was from article I read online. Nowadays, plastic causes big environmental problems, contaminating rivers and oceans. But the article said interesting and also very hopeful news. That was a fungus or a mushroom that can break the plastic down was found in the Amazon tropical rainforest. And for me, it was big news. And I created this mushroom piece and titled this work as I Wish I Were the Mushroom. And this is my first environmental artwork. And this is the close-up photo. And the bottom part is a grocery bag from Cub Food. And the top part is from Target. And I planted the mushrooms on the gallery floor too, not only outside. And also I planted the mushrooms on the logs. Then I made several environmental art pieces. I really like water lily. The reason is when I was small, there was a pond in front of my house and the water lilies are floating. And it was a very peaceful memory of my childhood. And I created this water lily like flower shape with packing form. So it's really soft and light. And first I showed this on the lake again, but the material is not very strong, fragile, and couldn't keep the form, especially when a strong wind blew. So I showed this work in the gallery space. Since the material or this flower is very light, very gentle air movement can create a very peaceful movement for these water lilies. And this is the, again, this is also environmental artwork. And I used solar panel. You see the black small squares on the center part of this work. And the charged solar energy can illuminate this like floating object at night. And this is not very dark yet, but light on. Okay, and this is the last artwork I will show today. And I had this idea like more than 10 years ago, but it's very simple and I really liked the idea, but I didn't have any concept. Also didn't have title. Without concept, I can find a title. And 4 years ago, when I stayed at South Dakota State University, I made this, but still I didn't have the concept or title. And finally, just recently, I got very good concept that I really wanted to express through this artwork. And that is from head to toe, using my life fully. I also like this title. And this is the close-up photo. And I want to read the explanation of this artwork. I cannot remember. So I have paper here. So, okay, let me read. From head to toe, using my life fully. Everyone has a moment of full bloom in his or her life, especially when they find a way to make the most of all their possibilities. These flowers made with plastic bottles show us their own way. When we understand that everyone is unique and has only one existence on the earth, we may respect each other more. And when we appreciate everyone's unique blooming of life, our societies, and furthermore, the world will be a better place to live. This is the message I created through this artwork. Okay, my presentation is that it, and thank you for all listening, and thank you for joining. And if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, shall I stop?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining. And
Thank you, Mayumi-san. Yay. I really enjoy your work always, and with the very soft and then feminine items and materials, especially doily, and then also the doily patterns. And then you create the strong and powerful, and then sometimes a bit prickly, like us women can be at the same time. And I just really enjoy that, and I relate to it very much. There are questions. So there's a two-parter on this question. If you thought about infusing color into your work, it seems like white is a prominent color. And if not, why not? And what would inspire you for this choice of a color? And the second question from the same person is, the negative space is very important to your work. When creating your art, do you envision the negative space, or do you enjoy the surprise?
Okay. Yes, I use only, like mostly, not only, mostly white color. And also I really like blue color. and the silver and the clear. That is the main color I use. And like imagine Japanese calligraphy with ink, Indian ink and the brush, and without any color. Calligrapher create beautiful artwork. And sometimes I see different color. It's only the black, but sometimes I see flower color like purple or sometimes pink, deep pink in the black calligraphed letters. So it's kind of same. White is very neutral. And if I use very strong, for example, pink color, it's pink. But if I use white, it's kind of create imagination, or it's neutral. So can be taken any way. That is one of the reasons. When I was asked why not like colorful doilies, but I really like white color. It's one of the reasons. It's what I said, and also white gives me very innocent feeling. So I don't want to make like pink or like green doilies. So that's the reason. And when I came to the United States, I thought American people really like colorful like images, like dress or building or wall color. So I know American people like colorful images. So it's the reason I'm always asked why not using colorful images. But I intentionally limit the color I use. So the main color I said is what I'm using now. I might make very colorful artwork, but it's very special for me. So I don't want to limit my ideas. So someday I might use a very colorful artwork, but for now I intentionally limit the color I use. And this is my answer. And I'm sorry, the second question was?
The use of negative space. How do you determine that?
Okay. Yes, everything has a positive space and a negative space, and especially my cut out artwork uses negative space. And I don't know if you remember, but my fourth plastic tarp doily is I used small, not small, it's big, but motif. So round shape and repeat the same pattern. And I didn't know how to connect the round shape. And at the end, I decided the pattern to connect all small circles. And I'm very interested in negative space. When I join some motifs, I see negative space in between. And I continue to use the negative space and as a design. But creating regarding to creating space, yes, I use positive space and also shadow, light and shadow. I don't know if it's a good answer, but it's what I want to say.
Thank you. Actually, I am getting a lot of thank yous and a lot of beautiful work. Thank you for sharing. If you all want to comment on that, I can share that with Mayumi-san as well. So please keep commenting. It will be wonderful if I can share this with Mayumi-san. Mayumi-san, do you have any future show happening right now? Do you have any plan?
Yes. I really wanted to give this lecture when I had a large show last fall, but it has gone. So next opportunity is more than 1 year ahead.
Okay.
And I don't have a green card, so I have to renew my visa every year. And my lawyer always told me that do exhibitions outside of Minnesota so that I can say I'm nationally active or internationally active. So everybody forgot me because I don't have any show in Minnesota. And the last fall was really big for me. And I got great opportunity. It was in a new gallery space, expanded. So I was chosen as the first artist to use the space. It was a great honor. And I was so happy and everybody remembered me. So it was great. But my next show is very small at the Metropolitan State University in St. Paul. There is very small gallery. The gallery is, the name of the gallery is Golden Parks Gallery. He's a black photographer. The name was taken from him. But it's a really small space and I don't know how the show will be. And I really want to create the whole space, not only focus on each work, but like I experienced in Texas, I want to create the peaceful or soothing atmosphere. So I cannot expect the great atmosphere in the small gallery, but next show is 1 year ahead.
Whenever you have anything come up, could you let us know so that we can share it with our
thank you so much.
members?
And without having any like schedule or opportunities on my itinerary, I cannot renew my visa because without anything, there's no reason to stay in the United States. So I always looking for opportunities. So teaching or having workshops or like lecture like today and anything, it's great for me. So for example, I really like origami. It's like I'm still like a child, but I did origami workshops so many times. And also I use plastic bottles. So I created like pinwheel with plastic bottle. So that kind of workshop is also great. So if you invite me for exhibitions or any kind of opportunity, that will be great for me.
All right, if you have any ideas, please let us know.
Yes.
And then let me know in the chat and then we can kind of discuss that. Like I can connect you to Mayumi-san later so that you guys can talk about it outside of this room. But yeah, let me know and just tell me, hey, I was at the lecture. I want to talk to Mayumi-san and I will connect to you all. One more time, thank you very much, Mayumi-san. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. for
So,
joining.
as per usual, if we can have pictures together,
Oh,
so if you don't mind, to be in a photograph, could you please turn your camera on so that we can have you? And I'm gonna like fix my hair a little bit because it's horrendous. All right. We're gonna wait just a little bit to see if we can have your face out. Yeah. I mean, today is a perfect day to stay in and see beautiful artwork. And then you can also look at snow at the same time. But all right, are we all good? You ready to go? All right. Oh, we have a really good word today. So instead of cheese, we're gonna say doily.
oh.
All right. 1, 2, 3, doily.
And thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much. And then thank you guys. Take care. Keep yourself warm and see you later.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.